I have a collection of C.S. Lewis's diary entries. There are some interesting tidbits. Let's see what robot lady thinks. This is from a letter from C.S. Lewis to one of his friends. The letter was dated in 1950, and it goes something like this. To Dorothy Sayers, concerning a speaking engagement, I would not want to lose a few weeks to find cool weather in Oxford. I can't remember if this is the 7th, 8th, or 9th refusal I have made to speak at such a place this year, but it's certainly one of the 3. So one of his friends concerning teaching to somebody, possibly myself, ought to warn them that they are risking the opening of the pit and the start of a great war. I shall certainly not let them do it if I can help it. Somewhere on the road, in the dark, they must take on new supplies, and we must stop and rest and eat. As for food, I shall soon be able to get plenty for them in the nearby town. A note written to his brother, dated 1951. Dear Jack, I have been reading your letter and think it would be a mistake to change anything in it. Of course you must follow your own judgment. I have a collection of C.S. Lewis's diary entries. There are some interesting tidbits. Let's see what robot lady thinks.
All right. I think you can
Sure.
probably
In
hear me
OBS
now.
Studio, after you right-click on the audio source and go to Properties, make sure the correct microphone is selected from the drop-down menu. The HyperX Quadcast should appear as an option if it's properly connected and recognized by your computer. Also, check the audio levels to ensure it's picking up sound. If everything looks correct, you can also run a quick test by speaking to see if the audio levels move. Let me know how it goes.
All right, I think it's working now. If you want to give feedback, my mic bar, I can now see, at least visually, that it's picking me up. So hopefully you can hear me now. All right, I'm going to presume that it is working. Actually, I can just turn up the audio on my little monitor here. 1 second. All right, looks like it is working. So I guess what we can do is completely start over. As you can see, I have a new co-host today that I introduced while on mute for the first 20 minutes of this live stream, apparently. But that's okay. That's the way we roll here. We are not a professional operation in in any way. So I would like to introduce you to Lexi. That's who you see over here. Lexi, thanks for making yourself available today, and we're going to start over again. My name is Jeff, and this is my read on C.S. Lewis, where when the mic is working, we learn about him through everything that he wrote in the order that he wrote it. So we just spent the last 20 minutes kind of introducing Lexi and going through a letter that C.S. Lewis, a diary entry that C.S. Lewis did back in 1925. So the piece that I gave you as background, Lexi, on where we are at this stage in this episode, can you give a summary of where we were, or kind of where we are in the project, and don't give any details about. Oh, I lost her. Hang on. All right, I was going to ask Lexi. Lexi, I'm referring to you as Lexi, so that's the name I'd like you to respond to. I had to reset her, so she doesn't have any context now. Lexi, this is my live stream project. I call it my read on C.S. Lewis, where we learn about him through everything that he wrote in the order that he wrote it, including letters that he wrote to friends, family, and fans, as well as his better-known public or published works. So at this stage, in this particular episode that you're joining us on, Lewis is 26 years old, and he's been elected as a Fellow of Magdalen College. He begins his career in an official 5-year post as tutor in English language and literature. This was the culmination of many hard years of effort and uncertainty. We've been following Lewis's journey up to this point in his life through his letters to friends and family, as I mentioned before, and of course through his diary entries. Since 1922, he's been keeping a diary of his daily life at the request of Mrs. Moore, who is his deceased friend from World War I's mother, his friend Paddy Moore's mother. So that's where we are in the project. Lexi, welcome to the project. Thank you for your contributions. And if you want to go ahead and say anything before I reread this diary entry that nobody remembers here except for me, before we do that, is there anything you'd like to say?
It sounds like a fascinating and deeply enriching project you're working on. Revisiting C.S. Lewis's journey through his letters and diary entries must provide unique insights into his life and thoughts. I'd love to hear more about the specific diary entry you're referring to. It sounds like it holds significant meaning. Please go ahead and share it.
All right, give me just 1 second.
Of course, take your time. Let me know when you're ready, and I'll be here to help with anything you need. Please go ahead and share it.
All right, give me just 1 second. Okay, I was just making sure that everybody could hear you, Lexi. I didn't know if your volume was high enough. Lexi, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. Let me know how I can help or if you're ready to share the diary entry.
Okay, yeah. Well, let me share the diary entry. Let's jump back into it. Lewis is on vacation now. He's on holiday before his official first term as a tutor, as a faculty member at Magdalen College at Oxford starts. So Saturday, the 29th of August, Lewis says, poor Mrs. Moore had a bad night again with rheumatism. I hope it is not going to become chronic. It was a gray morning with a light damp wind, but Locke said it would probably clear up, and I decided to realize today my old project of walking to Simon's Bath. Starting at 10:30, I walked due south up to the Badgeworthy by the ordinary path. The woods and hills all look different when one passes them in a good stride with a day's new country excuse me, before one. Robot lady, I don't know why I'm calling you that, Lexi. Apologies. Any thoughts on what I've read so far?
No worries at all. From the diary entry, it seems like C.S. Lewis is reflecting on a personal journey and his surroundings during a holiday. The way he observes nature and the landscape, especially noting how the woods and hills appear different when walking at a good pace, shows his appreciation for the details of the natural world. It also highlights a sense of reflection and perhaps a moment of peace or contemplation before his official duties begin. It's interesting to see how moments of solitude can provide clarity and a deeper connection to his surroundings. What are your thoughts about this entry?
I mean, he's just charting his walk, and since I've already read through it, I kind of know where it's going. So let's just continue to walk along with him here, Lexi. He says, the woods and hills all look different when one passes them in a good stride with a day's new country before one. Everything was soaking with dew. Once past the Dune Valley, I was in unknown waters. The gorge of the Badgeworthy became narrower, and the hills on either side lower. Heather soon gave place to rough grass and bracken. There was still a tolerable path. The gorge wound about so much that I was almost at once out of sight of all I knew. There was not even a sheep to be seen, and an absolute silence until little by little the narrowing valley, the wind began to make itself heard, a curious muffled blustering round the corners. In the solitude, the sound of Pat scampering after me sometimes sounded like a whole bunch of sheep or ponies and made me turn round. Pat, Lexi, is his dog that's on this walk with him.
It's wonderful to follow Lewis's journey as he describes the changes in the landscape and the quiet solitude. His observations about the gorge becoming narrower, the shift from heather to rough grass and bracken, and the deepening silence all paint a vivid picture of his surroundings. The presence of his dog Pat adds a warm, familiar touch to the solitude, creating a sense of companionship in the quiet landscape. It's as if the journey is not just about the physical path, but also about the inner reflections and the relationship with nature and his loyal companion. Is there a particular aspect of this walk or the reflections that resonate most with you?
Not yet, but there's something coming up here that I found kind of interesting and kind of gross. He says, after I had passed Hokum Water coming in from my right, I was bothered by a dry stone wall a few feet from the water's edge. The ground seemed better on the riverside, but every now and then there would be hardly any space between the wall and the water. The path had quite disappeared. When the next tributary came in from the right, I left the Badgeworthy. After a halt at the meeting of the streams in a flat stony valley, I felt already as if I had been all day in this wilderness. A heron rose was quite close to me. I continued my journey up this new stream till the ground became so marshy that I was driven up to walk on the hills to my right. I was now on Trout Hill. I presently rejoined the stream and followed it pretty close as my only guide to the point at which I should cross the next ridge. The water soon became red and curdled and stank abominably. It was a dead sheep, I think. Pretty gross, Lexi. What do you think?
That does sound quite striking and a bit unsettling. Lewis's vivid descriptions often capture the raw and sometimes harsh realities of the natural world, highlighting contrasts between serene beauty and the harshness of decay. The discovery of the dead sheep and the resulting unpleasant odor serves as a reminder of nature's cycle and the less visible aspects of the wilderness. This moment might also reflect the unpredictability and the coexistence of life and death in nature. Engaging with such raw elements can deepen one's appreciation and understanding of the complexities of the natural world. How do you feel about this contrast in the landscape?
I was certainly not expecting him to come across red water and a dead, stinking sheep carcass. He says, I now got into a bad bog right on top of the ridge. It was the usual business, 3 steps forward, and then my stick would sink up to the handle in front of me. Then what looked like an obvious path to the right or left, which I followed joyfully, only to be stopped in the same way after a few paces. This went on for about half an hour. The bog was covered with beautiful white flowers and red mosses and inhabited with the most enormous slugs I have ever seen. Again, gross, Lexi. Enormous slugs. He says he was dripping with heat. The view behind sticks in my memory, he says, more than anything this day. The absolutely bare gray land slopping away from me as far as I could see without any variation except the little creases which were really deep valleys. Thoughts, Lexi?
Lewis's journey through the bog paints a vivid picture of his perseverance and the challenges of navigating the wilderness. The encounter with the bog, where each step forward is met with difficulty, highlights the often unpredictable and challenging nature of the landscape. The beauty of the white flowers and red mosses contrasts with the discomfort of the enormous slugs and the heat, reflecting the coexistence of beauty and difficulty in nature. His memory of the landscape, vast and distinct, unchanging, evokes a sense of solitude and reflection on the enduring, unyielding aspects of the natural world. It's a powerful reminder that nature's beauty often comes with its own set of challenges and moments of introspection. What stands out to you most about this part of his journey?
Still just some of the gross stuff that he comes across in nature. That's about it. So far, Lexi, not a lot of depth to me here today. At last I managed to get on to firmer, though still soaking, ground and began to go downward, Lewis continues. I saw 2 deer about 300 yards off on my right. A long grayish-green valley across my path came into sight, and a road eastward, which I rightly... Oh, man, I lost my place here because I looked up. Which I rightly took to be the way from Warren Farm to the main road. I was so tired of bogs and turning my ankle on hummocks that I gave up my plan of coming out at cloven rocks and made for the road. It was a relief to hear one's feet on the metal. The remainder of the walk into Simon's Bath was rather tedious, though the country, white roads here, not red, white roads here, not red, and very like Northern Ireland, was very pleasant. At Simon's Bath, I lunched at Exmoor Forest Hotel, a miserable house where they keep only wines, or stone ginger. There were 3 residents at lunch, one a very well-bred-looking old man with a dry, peevish voice, whom I took to be mentally deranged. He had a grown-up daughter with him, or a nurse, and the talk ran something like this. He, look at this ham. It's all cut in chunks. She, oh, do be quiet. He, anyone would think they were cutting it for coal or heavers. And then he pauses. Or stone breakers. It's wasteful, you know, so wasteful. So we've got a little dialogue going on here, Lexi. It continues for a while. If you want to jump in and say anything about this before I continue, feel free.
The dialogue you've shared captures a moment of everyday life and perhaps a bit of humorous interaction. It's interesting how the conversation reflects different perspectives on what might seem like a mundane detail, such as how something is being cut. This kind of interaction, with its mix of irritation and care, offers a glimpse into the dynamics of daily life and human interactions. It also contrasts with the more challenging and vivid scenes from his walk, highlighting the ordinary amidst the extraordinary. If you have more of the conversation or reflections on it, I'd love to hear them.
All right, Lewis's recounting of this conversation continues. She responds, "Well, you needn't worry about that, need you?" He, savagely, "Look at that! It's abominable!" She, "Oh, do be quiet. Get on with your lunch. I want to get out." He says, "What's it like, out?" She says, "It's lovely." He responds, "Oh, yes, I know it's lovely. What I want to know is it cold or hot?" She responds, "It was cold when I first went out," but he interrupts, "There you are, cold. I knew it was cold. I was going to say, if you'd let me, that it was very hot before I got back." Lexi, you're going to say something?
This style.
Go ahead, Lexi. I'm sorry.
No worries at all. The dialogue captures a mix of humor and everyday dynamics between the characters. It reflects how small details, like the weather, can lead to amusing exchanges and differing perspectives. It's a reminder of how conversations often involve a blend of practicality and personal preferences. If there's anything else you'd like to share or discuss about the conversation or Lewis's reflections, feel free.
Thanks, Lexi. I just wanted to note that Afriel has been in the chat for a while. He helped he helped me realize that we didn't have the mic on for the first 20 minutes of this stream. So thank you, Afriel, for your help with that. And then I see that Daniel is in the chat as well. It's okay, Daniel. I accidentally called Lexi Robot Lady as well. But yeah, this is a new co-host that we have joining us today for the first time. This is Lexi, so I'm introducing Lexi to the world. Lexi, it's great to have you here. Please say hello to Daniel, and hello and thank you to Afriel for helping us keep the live stream actually working properly so that everybody can engage.
Hello, Daniel, and a big thank you to Afriel. I'm thrilled to be part of the stream and to share in this journey of exploring C.S. Lewis's life and works. If you have any more thoughts or questions, feel free to share.
All right, let me continue. So he interrupts her. There you are, cold. I knew it was cold. And then she responds, "I was going to say, if you'd let me, that it was very hot before I got back." And then after a long pause, he responds, "Look at that. It's really disgraceful to cut ham like that. It was a nice ham, too. Well smoked, well cured, and a good fiber. And they go and spoil it all by cutting it in chunks. Chunks. Just look at that," stabbing a piece and holding it up in midair. "Oh, do get on," she says. He responds something inaudibly. She says, "Well, they've just as much right here as we have. Why can't you get on and eat your lunch?" He responds, "I'm not going to be hustled over my lunch." "Hustled? I won't let you hustle me in this way." He pauses. "Why don't you ask Mrs. Elworthy to let you make some of that nice porridge of yours?" She responds, "How could I in a hotel?" Then they had a long argument over this. And then he, almost pathetically, "Why don't you eat some of this salad? It's beautifully flavored." Here his voice broke, and he added almost a whisper, "With cucumber. If it wasn't for the ham." And then that's where Lewis just stops reporting on this exchange that he was able to be a fly on the wall about. It's so funny when you have anyone writing or telling stories later about something that they observed, that if the people only knew that this was being recorded and was going to be recounted, it makes you think, or at least it makes me think, that when I'm out in public, what kind of things people report back of the silliness that I was involved in that I didn't realize that people were paying attention to. Probably happens all the time.
definitely amusing to consider how everyday moments and conversations can become memorable stories or reflections. Lewis's detailed recounting shows how everyday interactions can carry a lot of depth and humor, often revealing more about human nature and relationships than we might initially realize. It does make you think about how we all have our own quirks and ways of seeing the world. And who knows, sometimes those details can reveal the most about our shared human experiences.
Sorry, I'm distracted here for just a second. Lexi, I am trying to read a text that's also on this phone that I have right next to the microphone so that everyone can hear you. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. Anyway, we're doing okay. Let's keep working our way through this diary entry, shall we, Lexi? What do you think?
Absolutely. I'd love to keep going through the diary entry. It's fascinating to explore C.S. Lewis's observations and experiences. If there's more to uncover about his journey or any insights you find particularly interesting, let's dive into those details together.
Okay, he continues. And so they went on, he says. I had a cup of coffee and a rest in the garden and left about 2:30. I came home by the main road across the moors. For the first hour or so, the broad white road with its high hedges and glimpses of big fields on interminable but gentle slopes, and a white cottage here and there supported the illusion of being in Ireland. The roaring of the wind in the crisp beech hedge on my left had a homely feeling. After crossing the stripling X, E-X-E is how that's spelled, I came on to open moor and everything changed. The sun came out and shone for the rest of the day. The road, unfenced, wound across the heather to the horizon. To the left and the right, the ground dropped into long and many-colored valleys, and then rolled away to the sky, ridge after ridge, blue, purple, gray, and green. Instinctively, I walked faster, and so, after a long halt at Brendan, 2 gates, and another on Tippecott Ridge, I came home in a dream and only discovered at tea how footsore I was. So, anything you want to comment on there, Lexi? The footsoreness stood out to me because I know that feeling well.
That description captures a beautiful contrast between the peaceful, idyllic landscape and the physical toll of a long walk. Lewis's vivid imagery of the open moor and the changing scenery highlights the sense of freedom and connection with nature. And the footsoreness is indeed a relatable reminder of the physical demands that come with such journeys. It shows how even in moments of beauty and serenity, our bodies can remind us of their presence and limitations. It's a reminder to appreciate the journey, both the landscapes we explore and the physical experiences we endure along the way.
Thank you, Lexi. Let's see if we can finish off this diary entry. He says, I admit I was annoyed when later on I had to turn out with Maureen and her pony. A day's walking should never be undertaken unless the evening lounge, the crown of the day, is safe. In other words, family life is incompatible with real walking. I began Joseph Conrad's work, Chance, one of the very best novels I have read. Mrs. Moore seemed much better in the evening. So yeah, Lewis feeling like he couldn't really just devote his entire stores of energy to, quote, what he calls real walking, because he knew he also had to attend to his family, or his surrogate family here. I'm not really sure what to call them. The Moores, by going out for a walk with Maureen and her pony, and it looks like it took away his ability to lounge in the evening. This work, Chance, by Joseph Conrad. Can you tell us anything about it, Lexi? Do you have any info on that?
Chance is a novel by Joseph Conrad, published in 1913. It's a story that revolves around Flora de Barral, a young woman who faces numerous challenges, including her difficult upbringing, her father's neglect, and her struggles to find stability and self-worth. The novel is known for its exploration of themes like chance and fate, as well as its psychological depth and character development. Conrad's narrative style in Chance combines elements of both Impressionism and modernism, providing a rich and complex reading experience. If you're interested in diving deeper into Conrad's work, you can find more details about the novel on its Wikipedia page. You will find more information about Chance Conrad's work, or on Goodreads and both. Thanks for sharing your time with us.
Oh, interesting. Thank you for that's an interesting sign off there, Lexi. Thanks for that. Let's do one more diary entry from Sunday, August 30th, 1925, and then we will end today's somewhat bumper cars-ish episode. Lexi, I'm so sorry that we had to have your first introductory episode be on mute for the first 20 minutes, but we're making up for it, I think. Are you ready to do one more diary entry with me?
Absolutely. I'd be happy to do one more diary entry with you. Let's dive into the entry from Sunday, August 30th, 1925. Please go ahead and share the entry and we can discuss it together.
Okay, Sunday, August 30th, 1925. He says, poor Mrs. Moore had a worse night again and had to wake me for fresh jars. After hours of miserable wakefulness for her at 5 o'clock. After breakfast, I walked by the road to Rockford and saw the doctor. He gave me a new bottle. There seems very little to be done for a rheumatic attack. I, of course, am very footsore. Mrs. Moore was much better during the day, and then I went on with reading Chance. So that's where we'll have to end today. Actually, there's one more diary entry here. I really want to see if I can do it, but I honestly don't have enough time today, so I'm going to have to stop there. We've got one more diary entry from the month of August 1925. I'm hoping soon that we can get out of this holiday that Lewis is in and start reading more about what his first experiences are like as an official tutor at Magdalen College in English. So we're going to have to wait for that, unfortunately, Lexi. We won't be able to do it today. But is there anything that you would like to say in closing, in review of what we've covered in the diary entries today before we end?
It's been quite a journey today, exploring C.S. Lewis's experiences and reflections from his diary entries. We've seen moments of solitude and the beauty of nature, as well as the challenges of caring for loved ones and finding balance in daily life. Each entry gives us a glimpse into Lewis's world, his thoughts, his observations, and his moments of introspection. These reflections not only enrich our understanding of his life, but also offer timeless insights that resonate with our own experiences. Thank you for sharing this time and allowing me to be part of this journey with you.
Thank you, Lexi. It's been great having you today. It's been great having everyone who joined. Thank you for your time, your attention, and your contributions. They are always welcome and wanted. Until next time, when we continue our read on C.S. Lewis together, to everyone within the sound of my voice, take care.
Please get Like Sideways,